This is Jayson Tatum fouling out in the last 3 minutes of a closeout playoff game against Kevin Durant. This is not a good thing, or at least it wasn't at the time. But how did it get to this point, and who were the heroes who prevailed in sealing the Celtics' eventual victory? Well, to hit on that first question real quick, Jayson Tatum, courtesy of this guy, NBA referee Scott Foster, picked up a series of, to put it lightly, questionable fouls that even the most neutral fans would say clearly put Brooklyn in a position to extend this series, somewhat culminating in this play. Blake Griffin slides into Tatum's path just in time, or was it? To draw an offensive foul on Tatum, his fifth. Coach Udoka challenges the call. This Brooklyn guy is way too eager to show Blake that everything's good, and the Celtics end up losing the challenge. Now, Tatum hasn't fouled out yet, but Udoka decides to bench him up 7 with 8 minutes remaining in the game. Cue Celtics fans everywhere squeezing stress balls or whatever they do to deal with anxiety. However, the Celtics initially take it in stride. This is the first possession after Tatum's 5th foul, and Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart is the sole defender on a Kevin Durant post-up. It's not that Smart got struck by the elbow, but he anticipated the elbow swing perfectly and avoided it while still selling it enough to get the call. Note Kevin Durant's face as he realizes he's been had by Marcus Smart. One possession later for the Celtics, Grant Williams gets the ball on an inbounds from Marcus Smart. Derek White and Jaylen Brown run an off-ball action to get Seth Curry switched onto Jaylen, which is an extremely favorable matchup regardless of Tatum's involvement. Grant Williams sets another screen, forcing Dragic to switch onto JB, forcing the entire Brooklyn defense to focus on his drive, before he kicks it out to a wide-open Al Horford. Okay, Celtics handling things well so far, not bad. On the defensive end, the Celtics double Durant on the catch, forcing him to pass off to Kyrie Irving, who Grant quickly recovers on. Look at Grant's positioning here. He's funneling Kyrie into the Celtics defense where Derek White and Horford are waiting. Curry frees up some space by evacuating, but then a questionable decision from Kyrie as he chooses not to drive into this newfound space, but into the newly clogged lane. White leaves Curry to cover the dump off to Blake, leaving Jaylen to defend Curry and Dragic on the perimeter. Jaylen gambles correctly, but closes out way too hard, allowing Curry to make the difficult deep 2. But then Boston follows this up with some nice ball movement, leading to a Marcus Smart 3 on the other end. So Tatum is sitting, but not bad, right? Well, that's where things start to go to shit. With the Celtics up 10, Dragic hits this open-ish 3, Horford just commits to Kyrie enough to allow Dragic the easy look, and then Dragic follows it up with this nifty transition layup. Jaylen then extinguishes the fire somewhat with this and 1 midi, but Udoka has seen enough and he brings Tatum back in with 5 minutes to go. Which brings us to our nightmare moment. With 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining and the Celtics up 6, Tatum is called for his 6th foul on this play. You can see here how Dragic kind of hooks him and then brings them both down. Extremely dodgy. Nonetheless, the Celtics are now faced with the task of closing out a playoff game on the road without their best player. Which brings us to that second question. Who were the heroes who prevailed in sealing the Celtics' eventual victory? Well, you're going to see a near perfect game from this guy, and a slightly less perfect but still important impact from this guy. Oh, and you're going to see some excellent defense from Grant Williams as he forces Kevin Durant into a heavily contested mid-range jumper here. However, Blake Griffin fights Al Horford for possession on the rebound and starts to fire up the Brooklyn crowd. Okay, starting to panic here. Tatum's out and the crowd is finally getting behind the Nets. On the following play, the Nets inbound, Smart gambles on a steal and leaves Kyrie Irving wide open for a 3, and now we're really panicking. Next possession, the Nets down 3, totally within striking distance. The Celtics opt for an on-the-fly Horford post-up on Blake Griffin, who, credit to Blake, defends it well. Stop, Brooklyn ball, 1 possession game. On the next play, Kyrie Irving brings the ball up with the opportunity to tie the game. Jaylen gladly accepts the switch, and look at that one-on-one defense. Plays it perfectly and forces Kyrie into a well-contested attempt at the rim. Celtics get the ball back, and this time we see Jaylen Brown bringing the ball up and turnover. An important but not so perfect game from Jaylen Brown. Okay, next play. Brooklyn again with the opportunity to tie. Durant, guarded by his defensive equivalent in Grant Williams, drives into a paint packed with ready Celtics defenders. Well tracked and defended by Grant, but Durant makes the tough shot. Just good basketball, and unfortunately leaves the Celtics up 1 and still 90 seconds remaining. The next possession is critical for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is fed the ball with Bruce Brown, arguably the Nets' best defender, guarding him. He attacks off the catch and is met by a Kevin Durant, Bruce Brown wall, and without question travels here. I mean, there's no doubt. You can see his pivot foot change here. But like I said, imperfect but impactful Jaylen Brown game. In the Nets' second to last, pants-shittingly terrifying potential game-tying play, Durant jacks up a very Durant-friendly shot and honestly barely misses here as it back rims out. Okay, Celtics, almost there. Smart drives himself into an impossible position here. Horford's not available for any sort of dump off, and there are no passing lanes out to the perimeter. Really, the best case scenario here, the ball is knocked out of bounds, Celtics ball, but only 3.5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. You can feel the collective butthole tightening from Celtics fans globally. Inbounds pass, Jaylen misses, and holy shit, Kevin Durant has the ball with an opportunity to tie, except wait, Smart, he fouls Kevin Durant with less than a shot clock remaining, sending Durant to the line for 2 free throw attempts and denying his chance at a 3. Better still, Durant misses the second free throw, resulting in this heart attack of a possession where Jaylen Brown almost turns it over, and then Marcus Smart, instead of running the clock down, charges at the rim and misses. This is the one imperfection in Smart's closing out of this game. Thankfully, playoff Al Horford is there to clean it up, the Celtics go up 4, and it's a free throw game from this point on that the Celtics inevitably win. So there you have it, a gutsy stretch from this matured Celtics team, closing out a playoff series on the road without Jayson Tatum. Hope you enjoyed this one. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and we'll be back with more content very soon.